What's good, fellas? Welcome back to another video. I titled this video, A Man Has to Accept the Uncomfortable Truths. Let's get started with the video, shall we? It's very ironic. I used to have so much faith in people. I love people. I really do. But as somebody who loves people, I've also been hurt by people. I've also hurt people badly myself. As I began to understand my nature, I began to understand the nature of people. You see, the more that you look into yourself, the more you can identify with other people. We all share a common plight to a certain extent. And so that being said, once you start to understand these truths, life will take you in certain directions, in certain paths, hurting you in the process, but you come out calloused. You come out stronger, you come out wiser, savvier, if you will. Your wit increases. And so, as my wit began to increase, my self-respect began to increase. I began to look at life differently, especially as I lived in different societies and mingled with different people. It gave me a global collective perspective of what it means to be a human being. And though I damn sure don't claim to know it all, because I'm just a man learning, as you are, I've had to accept some deep truths. You see, fellas, a lot of us, and a lot of you watching right now, you're walking around wanting to be seen, wanting to be heard, wanting to be felt. And that's natural. It's natural to want to be seen. It's natural to want adoration and praise, glory, to be great. That natural inclination of wanting to matter is innate in a lot of us. Lean into that. You see, that natural inclination will drive you to do great things. And I've had to learn, though I have that natural inclination, I had to ask myself, why is it that sometimes in my life, when I began to be seen by other people, it felt uncomfortable? That used to perplex me. I could never understand how I wanted to be seen, but when I started to be seen, it made me uncomfortable. So as I explored that, I realized it was because I had limiting beliefs. Once I was able to work through those limiting beliefs, I became tough. I became cold. You see, fellas, a lot of you right now, you try to be seen through women that you're dating. You want to feel loved because you're not complete, you're not whole. That little boy in you has been damaged. All of us have experienced it. We've gone through life, and that little boy that was so pure, that little innocent boy that we all have inside of us that was so pure, little by little, life started to break us down. Life started to fuck us up. You got your heart broken, you got betrayed, you got hurt. So you began to try to protect him. You begin to try to protect him. You don't want anybody to really see him. Or maybe you do. And oftentimes, what happens is that little boy wants to shine. He wants to shine. He wants to be seen. But the man you are now, you're afraid of that. So you get tight and you clench. You're like, no. You see, you have to accept that the majority of people are not going to see how beautiful you are as a human being, how beautiful you are as a man, who you are, your essence. The majority of people are not going to see that. I had to learn that people have to earn that right to see certain facets of me. People are going to have to earn you, gentlemen. You're going to have to learn how to value yourself. You see, an uncomfortable truth that you have to accept is that nobody's coming to save you. And when a man realizes that nobody is coming to save him, it is at this point in his life precisely, that is pivotal. You realize your life is in your hands. Anything you want is in your hands. You control what you control. And the things outside you that you don't control, let bygones be bygones. You got to accept this, fellas. You've got to move with a pep in your step. You've got to be gritty. You've got to have some grit. You've got to accept that a woman, here we go. Here we go. Once I say women, y'all ears start to jingle. You have to accept that a woman, more times than not, is not going to love you unconditionally. The only woman that will love you unconditionally is your mother, perhaps your sister. So you seek that type of love in a wife, in a spouse, in a significant other. I didn't say that women can't love us. But more times than not, a woman is not going to love you unconditionally. You see, a woman loves your competence. A woman has to respect you to love you. And if you haven't fortified yourself and made yourself a man worthy of respect, you're never going to be loved profoundly by a woman. How do you make yourself a competent man? Well, for starters, you have to accept some deep truths. You're in charge of your own life. You have to become competent. You have to heal yourself. You have to dig. You have to drive. You have to pick yourself out of the mental despair that you feel every day. I know you fighting, brother. You don't think I know you fighting? From a man to a man. One man to another. You don't think I know that you're fighting right now mentally every single day. You don't think that I know the doubts that go in your mind. You don't think I understand the comparative analysis that you do in your mind between you and other men. Physically, economically. You don't think I understand. So what? We still have to pick ourselves up every day. You have to accept some deep truths about life. It just is what it is. And so as you accept these truths, you become stoic. It doesn't mean that you don't feel, but you accept these truths and you move forward, because as a man, things have to get done. You might have a family right now. Things got to get done. You still got to provide for your kids. Daddy still has to perform. You're an uncle. Uncle still has to perform. Brother still has to perform. Friend still has to perform. You see, everybody has their own shit that they're dealing with, bro. Everybody has things that they're dealing with. Once you accept these truths, you're able to move with clarity. You're able to move with precision. There's certain things that once a man accepts, it is what it is, you move forward, you drive, you dig deep. This is why when we're able to sit around with our brothers, perhaps it's enjoying a nice cigar, perhaps it's sitting around a campfire, perhaps it's sitting at the bar, whatever you enjoy. When you're with your brothers, man, does it feel good to just sit down, talk, and laugh. Because we know what the fuck is going on in the masculine world. We know what's going on. But that's life. So many of you, I see you complaining. You complain about life. It's hard. It's tough. I was having a conversation yesterday with a gentleman. He was complaining. It's tough for the black man here, man. It's tough to, start this business. I don't get the same opportunity as the white guy that... So what? And we know there's institutional racism. So what? My family came from Haiti and made something of themselves as immigrants. So what? Racism exists. So what? We in a first world country where we have all the opportunity in the world. So what? Life is hard, period, for a man. Who cares? You're a black man. Yes, okay, it's difficult for black men. Cool, I'm not denying that. But so what? Are you going to perform or not? Whether you have white skin, black skin, Whether you're Latino, Asian, are you going to perform as a man? Yes or no? Answer the question. Accept the truth. Whether you're an Asian, whether you're African, you have to perform. You have to provide. You have to produce. Either way, you've got to accept the truth. This is why I never fancy the conversation of, oh, it's harder for black men. It's hard. So what? There are some truths. Okay, there's institutional racism. We know that, brother. So what? We know history. We know the nature of certain people. Why? It's like you're shocked that you jump in shark-infested waters and you get bit. You're shocked that a duck is quacking. You're shocked that a dog is barking. Some of you make too many excuses based off of your race, based off of where you come from, your background, based off of how you speak. You have limiting beliefs. And you've got to figure out, why am I still allowing those limiting beliefs to limit me? When you are boundless, nothing can hold you back. And once you accept this truth, you will move accordingly. A man has to accept the deep truths about life. Fellas, we've always been producers. We've always had to grind it out. We've always had to control our emotions. We've always had to spearhead. We've always had to get hit, cut, stabbed, whatever. Pick ourselves back up. Valor. We've always had to spearhead. We've always had to keep trucking forward. Regardless of how we feel. Regardless of what's against us. Regardless of if the enemy has position over us. So what? You go with honor. You go with integrity. We don't complain over here. We do not complain. I don't care where you come from right now, where you're watching me from. Don't complain. Produce. And if you're having a hard time, produce. Trust me. If you want it bad enough, you will figure it out. Trust me. I'm not trying to hear none of that shit. You will find a way. Trust me. There's no excuses in life. Nobody pities you as a man. Nobody's going to come tap your little boo-boo. You have to earn respect. You have to drive. You've got to dig. A man has to accept the deep truths about life. That's the video, fellas.
Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take